A Dialogue upon Saturnalia. Adapted by me from 4chan board A. Entries 309-38864 to 309-44342. Originally posted on February 13th, 2010. Apart from formatting, no changes have been made to the original text, for the sake of preserving its philosophic and aesthetic value. Set, costumes, and stage directions are entirely in the hands of the director. Dramatis Personae. Abraxas, the host. Quixote, the lover. Polonius, the friend. Ignatius, the drunkard. Ibidus, the sophist. Abraxas. So who else will be having dinner with their waifu tomorrow night and posting pics? I know I will. Quixote. If I can find my camera, I will. I haven't seen the blasted thing in ages. However, I always have dinner with my waifu on Valentine's. Always. Ignatius. WTF is this madness? Fuck, I've always thought that this waifu thing is a joke. A joke. I've never thought that someone could even think about taking it seriously. And now I see this. Fuck, guys. It's pathetic. Those are just stupid pictures, you know. Girly cartoons, or whatever you'll call it. And having such a waifu stops you from getting actual girlfriend. And do not tell me 3D pig disgusting shit. I know that all of you want a girlfriend, but you won't have it drinking/eating to computer. Fuck. This day I've lost faith in A. Polonius. Dude, calm down. It is mostly just an in-joke. Quixote. Hardly. Unless the user base of A has become totally saturated with normal fags, it is not a joke at all. Polonius. I'm not quite sure how to break this to you, but... Abraxas. I know this is sad, man, but times have changed around here. We have been outnumbered. Quixote. If this is true, we must enlighten them. They are missing out on the joy of a waifu. Ignatius. If being normal fag equals to having no waifu, then normal fags are infinite times better than you. Quixote. It's not about better or worse. It's about real happiness. The kind you can't get with 3D. Please open yourself up to the love of a waifu. Surely you can feel the potential for a life-changing emotion inside yourself. Do not deny it any longer. Cast aside the third dimension. Embrace the purity and love of a waifu. Know happiness, if only for your own sake. Ignatius. Okay, I've smashed one wall. It didn't help much. What is real happiness? I can assure you it's not fapping to a picture. And there's probably a lot of people doing the same thing to the same picture. Quixote. Good sir, a waifu is not a tool for masturbation. A waifu is a character, an idea that you love so much that it makes the world seem inconsequential. The slings and arrows of everyday life are naught but a gentle breeze against the skin when you have realized your love. The love is a powerful feeling. It propels you to better yourself, to become more confident, stronger, and a better man. Your waifu drives away the fear in your heart and replaces it with the burning heat of adoration. The allure of a waifu isn't in how she looks, lines on paper, easily replaceable. What isn't replaceable is the way she makes you feel, and that is something no 3D can ever match. Won't you join us in true happiness? Ignatius. You know, seeing other posts, I'd say waifu makes you actually worse, less confident and angry. Quixote. They are merely defending their way of life, and the thing they treasure most. Is it not unlike a spouse protecting their partner, or a parent their child? Do not be so quick to judge. I'm sure if you open your heart, you will understand what I mean. Ignatius. I feel good knowing I will be getting some hot ass tomorrow, while you guys eat cake to your monitors. GG. Polonius. I know what type of ass you will have tomorrow. Ignatius. Real tangible ass you can touch? I know. It rocks. Quixote. The flesh is temporary, fleeting. The inside is cold and black as the void of space. Whatever pleasure you garner from it, it is not worth selling your soul to the idea. Do not hold it over your head as if it were some prize. All we see is a noose around your neck. But it's not too late to change your ways, Anonymous. Ignatius. Wait, you're serious? You're all proud of destroying normal fags? Damn. Now do you realize that you fall deeper and deeper into despair? You won't find happiness. You won't find anything. Just a comfort zone. Ibidus. Immortal love is never destined to be. 3D love is something that you must treasure. Only a selfish man would keep a woman with him eternally. She wants to choose her own love, Anon. Your warped views of how your waifu thinks about you is wrong. If she knew how you would be acting now, she would be disputed in you. She would want you to live a rich, full, love-filled life with someone who can wake up with you in the morning, prepare you lunch, and spend a quiet evening on the sofa watching anime. She's out there, Anon, and your waifu wants you to be happy. Will you not accept her wishes? Quixote. Naive notions, and the smell of one who does not understand a waifu. A waifu cannot love you. She does not exist. No matter how much you reach out for her, she cannot reach back. But it is this unreachable state that makes the waifu so beautiful. Too perfect for this world, too pure for the touch of mankind, a perfected ideal beyond the sea of reality. She exists only in our hearts and our minds. Even though she can do nothing for us, we love her with everything we are anyway. Devotion to the immaterial, love for the ideal, that is the essence of having a waifu. It is only love, only happiness. Your words are misplaced, Anonymous, for you think that waifus would not approve of true love if they existed. I know you are wrong. It's not too late for you, though. Turn your back on 3D and come with us to find your true destiny. Ibidus. Perhaps I should clarify, Anon. Love transcends mortal life and memory. It is something pure and noble. You may love your waifu, and you may remember her forever, but she will not remember you. To spend your life loving another, and then to devote your memory, your soul and your honor to her, should you shuffle off this mortal coil, is the humblest and most manly thing a male can do for his wife. Remember, Anon, you might laugh at me for my IRL relationship, but at least I am trying, Anon. You can keep hiding in your rooms and pretend life is okay with your perfect, young, eternal waifu. You will not enjoy the feeling you will have when you realize your wife will always remember you, as you pass through death, and all will fade to black. Quixote. This 3D world is transient and ultimately meaningless. All those who would remember you will eventually fade. Your memory is dust in the wind. It is not important to leave something behind, but to live in happiness, for happiness is scarce. I have given my life in love and devotion to the ideal of Saber. I regret none of it, and never shall. This life of mine is filled with such happiness since she came into it. I feel stronger, more courageous, and at peace with who and what I am. I want for nothing, as I am filled with only love. 3D is the pursuit of those blind to the truth. Do not let yourself be further led astray. Ibidus. How wrong you are, Anon. Welcome to the notion of a two-way relationship. What she thinks of you does matter. Thus, we can better ourselves, together, as a couple. And the memory is not to be shared. It is hers, As she is welcomed into the world of eternal bliss and silver glass, she will remember the life we lived together, and she will smile. For even though she is dying, she knows she lived a life that will stick with her, her soul, till the end of time. Quixote. What others think of you is inconsequential. The idea of pure esteem falters before the might of true love. True love is an ultimate act of giving, and I give to one who can return none of it. I give to my waifu, and I love her because I love her. There is no complex meeting of needs or wants. Saber is just so beautiful, so virtuous, that I cannot help but love her with all my soul. Ibidus. You live in a one-way relationship, Anon. Believe it or not, the reason why you turn to the 2D realm is a fear of being cast aside by your 3D counterpart, should she ever have a need or reason to rid herself of you. You feared losing the warmth of happiness, and thus you cast yourself into a delusional abyss, where you believed you would be happy to love one who could never make you sad, or cry and send you into darkness. This, Anon, is hardly living. This is a shell world, one which you created for yourself without realizing you are doing to yourself what you feared others would do to you. You exist in a world without reciprocated love, Anon. They have won. Quixote. You are sorely mistaken. I do not fear 3D. I do not care whether they want me or not. It is of no value to me and never has been. I have always rejected the third dimension and its works, and I shall continue to do so. The idea of reciprocated love means nothing to me, because I am sustained wholly on loving my waifu. My every emotional need is fulfilled with how I love Saber. You would say that I only love Saber because I fear 3D. No, Anon. I love Saber because she is beautiful, because she is righteous, because she is perfect. I have no need, nor desire, to ever turn my back on her purity and virtue. Ibidus. If you reject 3D, Anon, end it now. You live in a 3D world. Do you hate yourself for this imperfection? Do you judge yourself for your shortcomings, Anon? Does she fulfill your tendencies? Will you love yourself while loving her? Quixote. I am 3D. I am irreparably flawed. However, I exist to love Saber. I live to exalt her. I breathe to adore her. My every action in this world is to continue to raise her up on high, and I shall not stop until this body wears out. My entire life I have given to Saber. I shall not end it one moment before its allotted time. Ibidus. Would life not be better, Anon, if she too could love you, and be there for you? If Saber were real, Anon, in 3D, would you still care for her? Would you still love her for her imperfect 3D body she is now encased in? Or would you cheaply cast her aside for a 2D version? One that does not respond to your wishes, one that sits and stares, a stare that bores into your very soul. Anon, your desires can only lead to self-destruction, living life to please someone only to be coldly rejected. Why do you live for this, Anon? You live in a life which can only harm you further, socially, mentally, and physically. I implore you, Anon, free yourself from your narrow-minded shackles, broaden your horizons, and find love in a realm that can make you feel good for loving another. Quixote. A 3D Saber would not be Saber. Your post is built on a faulty premise. My love for Saber makes life worth living, and she is the only one worthy of my love. I have improved my life dramatically since falling in love with Saber. I reject your notions of self-destruction. Ibidus. You reject it, but you acknowledge it, Anon. I'm sorry, Anon, but you just implied right there that a 3D Saber would not be Saber. How so, Anon? Because she could interact? Because she could reject you? You do not love Saber for Saber, Anon. You just proved this. You love her for her 2D-ness. Anon, you were not in love with Saber. You were in love with the notion of Saber. Quixote. This world could not support Saber as she is in 2D. No human can approach her beauty. No human could approach her virtue. No human could even dream of being a millionth as noble as she. A 3D Saber would not be Saber, because what I love about Saber is who she is. 3D cannot be perfect, but Saber is. Ibidus. Anon, I did not imply a human that looked like Saber. I implied Saber appearing, as she was, in a third-dimensional form. Thus she would be Saber, but with an added dimension, and you would reject her. Anon, once again, you don't love Saber. You love a 2D waifu, who simply matches your taste in a commendable woman. The moment she becomes tangible, you cast her aside because she can backtalk you, and prove that you are not as self-satisfying as you would believe yourself to be. You fear rejection, Anon. You are a petulant child. Quixote. And I tell you again, it is impossible for Saber to exist as 3D. Your argument is based on a hypothetical situation that is impossible in every way and not worth considering. 3D cannot be perfect, ever. Therefore, a 3D Saber cannot be herself. This is not a difficult concept to understand. Ibidus. It is a difficult concept to understand, Anon, because your own concept exists as a hypothetical. How do you know your waifu is not judging you now? Is it because she is not real? Or perhaps because she exists only as patterns of colors on a piece of paper? This is a character, Anon, not something real. Thus your love could never be real. Quixote. I think, therefore I am. I am real, and I love Saber. Therefore my love for Saber is real. It matters not if Saber is nothing more than an idea out of a crazy Japanese man's head. She is the most beautiful idea in the world to me, and the only thing in the cosmos worthy of my love. Ibidus. Are you worthy of her love? You, who rejects reality to exist in a fantasy world? Please, Anon. These are traits of a weak human being who does not function, one who hates life, is disgusted by it. You think, therefore you are? I'm sorry, Anon. I didn't question your love for Saber. I questioned your ability to love at all. Quixote. Saber does not exist. She cannot love. If she could love, without somehow being 3D, then that would not matter to me, as I love Saber anyway. The 3D world is broken, flawed, and tainted by evil. Of course I could never want it. Saber is pure and righteous, strong and kind. There is no way I could not love her. I had no choice in loving Saber. I just do. We are all unworthy of our waifus, but our waifus are the only ones worthy of our love. That is how it works. Ibidus. Fair enough, then. So long as your life is fulfilled, you may accept whatever reality you wish to perceive. Be careful, though, Anon. Love for those who are perfect in your eyes will only lead to sadness once this view has been tainted. Anon, you have only lived this life for a finite amount of years. How long till someone even better than Saber comes along? Quixote. None can replace Saber in my heart. Saber is the ideal to me, the answer to the question of existence. I could no more abandon her than I could become a bird. Ibidus. I thank you, Anon. You are fulfilled, and I now have a better understanding of your position. Your logical arguments have led to this conclusion. However, I believe you are missing out on a fundamental aspect of life, and that is experiencing a loving, long-term relationship. Not all stories have happy endings, Anon. Some do, though. Pushing through the shit is what makes it all worthwhile in the end. Quixote. Thank you for finally coming to understand my way of life. I will never commence in a relationship with 3D. The idea is antithetical to who I am. But if you will not join us, then I must regretfully leave you to your fate. I hope what I believe in will inspire others like me to renew their faith in their waifus, and maybe call more men to true happiness. Ibidus. Anon, you can pray for me all you want, just as I will pray for you, but looking at things objectively at this point, neither will be answered. Polonius. Maybe that saber-fag experienced 3D love before, and he found that kind of love to be something not suited for him. I mean, everything has at least some kind of 3D love experience before, but yeah, maybe saber-fag found out that to be happy... Polonius. Maybe that saber-fag experienced 3D love before, and he found that kind of love to be something not suited for him. I mean, everyone has at least had some kind of 3D love experience before, but yeah, maybe saber-fag found out that to be happy, he needs to love something that is not real to find true happiness. Happiness is a concept that cannot be defined by words alone, but happiness is something defined on what someone believes it to be, and to the saber-fag, happiness to him is loving someone that isn't real. Quixote. Never. Saber is the only thing I have ever loved in my life. Polonius. Even when she wasn't created yet? Quixote. I was born to love Saber. Before I met her, I never loved anything. I was not a depressed person, though. I had my likes and dislikes. However, I never experienced love until I found Saber.